Good morning, my name is Catherine, and I'm gonna give you a speech about the painting named Gaza, which was assigned to me by Professor de la Campa. John Singer Sargent was an American painter. He was asked to create a war embodying the Anglo-American cooperation in World War One. He was an artist and a witness of war. At the beginning, he was unsure about what his work was going to reflect because the many men were dying around him and the smell of death surrounded him. One day, he found himself in the middle of soldiers who were blind, so he decided to begin his painting, which was completed in 1919. Singer vividly describes the effects of chemical weapons in World War One. So, talking about more about the painting, I would like to say that it's a portrait specifically about the aftermath of a gas attack in the troops in Belgium. The painting has colossal size and subtle tones. The main composition of the painting is a big mass of soldiers. You can focus your attention in a line of soldiers. They are walking towards to a MASH unit for treatment. We can barely see the MASH unit, and I think that the painter did that because they wanted to emphasize more the pain of the soldier more than the precarious medical assistance they might receive at that time. They are holding one to one another. It represents the begins, support, compassion in a time of pain. Well, in the right side of the painting, we can see another line of soldiers. They are walking by inertia on their way to either fall definitely or live for another more days. Many soldiers line around these lines. These soldiers are wounded or dead. I can say that the soldiers are bandaged because they are blind. So the singer wanted to highlight that the soldier experienced horror and isolation. They were like trapped in their own darkness because they were blind. So, in contrast to that, we almost imperceptible. We can see in the background a group of soldiers playing soccer. In contrast with the other that were wounded. Um, Sargent used for this painting pink and yellow tones, and when you comes the first thing when I see in words that comes to my mind is to see blood. You expect that a work expect to be bloody, so Sargent used pink and yellow tones, and it represents to me like a new future, a new sunrise for the soldiers. In general, I can say that this painting gives us clues about the management of victims of the gas attack. It gives also clues about the lack of protective clothes. World War One was also known as the Great War, and it was a big mobilization of Europeans. And this characteristic is also displayed in the painting because all the soldiers were blonde and white. Um, well, um, Anytime I look at Gasset, at that painting, I remember the old story about my grandfather who was called to go to the war. He was in Cuba and he had to fly to Angola to fight for the government. At that time, it was an obligation. There were so many men that in Cuba that were so poor and they were pursued with monetary rewards my grandmother used to cry every day because he didn't know if my grandfather was returned to home someday. One day he returned, and he was another man. He wasn't wounded, physically wounded, but mentally his best friend died in front of him, and he didn't do anything about it. Well, even though Sargent did this beautiful piece of art, who is today holding in a museum in London, I firmly wish that war doesn't exist in the world, because always bring back consequences like horror, isolation, misery, and death. Thank you very much.